We are live talking Mando with Lord Callous, John Matrixx, and myself, Rhodes Rants. Good evening, gentlemen.
What's up? How are you?
Good evening. Good evening.
We are going to talk
Glad to be here.
The Gunslinger tonight, episode 5 of The Mandalorian, or chapter 5. But first, what's up?
I like that intro, man.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I'm working on about 5 more right now too, because
Good stuff.
I'm gonna have one for DC. I'm gonna have one for Marvel. I'm gonna have them all on lockdown. So
Good stuff.
anyway, let's take a look at the chat, see what we got going on. We've got Death by Saber in the house, and my boy Aaron C. We were talking about your Mike Zero comment, by the way, and I'm working on Mike. We'll see. Hopefully, one day we're going to break the wall down and get Mike going.
I think after episode 9, Mike Zero is going to change everything, man. He's already changing. He's going full Phantom Menace now. So wait to after. You know what? He's my most anticipated review for episode 9.
Probably.
I mean, because this dude is going full savage on that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me very quickly, bam, I wanted to tweet this out. Okay.
Hey, Fatal's in the chat.
Rhodes, who made that dope thumbnail for you, bro? This dude I know here in Texas, down in Nacogdoches, I think. somewhere down in the woods down there. Fatal J, what's up, man? Yeah, he hooked me up. I tried to get Fatal on tonight. Fatal had a previous engagement, but he says he's back to regularly scheduled programming next Friday night. So I also sent Drunk a link, by the way. I said, if you're free, come on. So we'll find out.
I think Drunk is still crying about Galaxy's Edge, man. Rise of the Resistance? The ride keeps breaking down. It's a disaster, man.
I heard it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah. In fact, I meant to make a video on that. If you want to know the truth, I saw that come across. I was like, man, I need to make a video about that.
Yeah.
Drunk kills it with those Galaxy's Edge videos.
Yeah.
Lord Callous, before we jump in right quick, Rise of Skywalker leaks. Did he lock up?
I think he did.
He did. Okay. Oh, and he's gone. Okay, I guess it's just us. Can you still hear me, Matrixx?
Yep.
Okay, great. Where are you at on the leaks? Well, I was going to go to you after Lord Callous. So,
on the newest leaks.
Yeah, well, in conjunction with the dagger being in the trailer is really what I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
because that we're starting to get ironclad confirmation.
I gotta tell you, man, seeing that dagger, this lets me know this movie is going to be a dumpster fire because it confirms so many leaks. So many. And the leaks have been bad. Really, really bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty worried about it myself. Lord Callous.
My bad. My damn router just like reset itself. It just sitting over there. It just said, no, I'm going to try again and just reset itself. I don't know what the hell that was about.
Did you see the TV spot where it showed the dagger?
I did, yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to wait another week, see if they all, let them run this course, and hopefully just put all of the 30-second trailers together so I can do something, because they're not very different from one to the other.
Yeah.
But it's just annoying that they're waiting this long to now show us all of this.
Yeah, it seems
You
like
know?
a new TV spot every day, and it's just
too
the
much.
same thing over and over again for the
Yeah.
most part.
What is the deal with all the TV spots, by the way?
That's what I'm saying.
Why
Didn't they just give us one more trailer and all of these TV spots, maybe one additional TV spot, and you gave us 2 trailers or 3 trailers up until, and then let it be, because you're taking away all of the mystery. Everything is going. You're giving away the horse right now.
They're highly concerned about this movie. I can tell you that. Right now.
Yeah. I
mean, you can see that from all the constant barrage now of TV spots that's come out. And the best thing they put out was that freaking dual TV spot.
Yeah, that was the best one. And that was mainly because of nostalgia.
Yeah.
That's true, but at least it got me into a TV spot. But then I saw that dagger and I was like, oh God, the leaks are absolutely leaks look flat right now.
And you notice that nobody wants to come back again and do any other type of movies or anything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac said nope. He just flat out said nope.
and oh man, it's just nuts. How is that possible? Like, you should be knocking down the doors for a Star Wars movie. How did somebody turn down?
I think I've been noticing something. John Boyega, after Last Jedi, he does not like this trilogy.
No,
let's just call it what it is. Daisy Ridley, I don't think she likes it either.
Did you see Daisy Ridley on British GQ?
No,
she was on. She did just a little commercial. I mean, a little spot that was probably like 2 to 5 minutes long, where she's reviewing the throne scene from The Last Jedi, and at the start of that interview, right, she says, this is the first time that I'm going to see this movie since the premiere. She's only seen the movie one time.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's nuts. Well, look, they sidelined Poe and Finn.
Yeah.
Just sidelined them in the Last Jedi. And if I was those two characters or those two actors, I would be furious with what they did with me in that movie. No development whatsoever, no progression, nothing.
And you want to know something else that really bothers me? Where the hell is Mark Hamill? He hasn't been on any marketing. You really haven't heard anything from him.
He doesn't care.
I know he doesn't care. They probably sidelined him because they know that he's pissed off.
Yeah, and you saw what he was doing from The Last Jedi. Imagine now if he was on those spots, he would be just completely going buck wild.
I think he's in this movie for about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah,
that's
it. May just even be voiceover.
I'm hoping that there's a reason he's quiet. Like, I'm hoping him and JJ are running an okie doke on us.
Yeah.
I'm crossing my fingers.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Everything Star Wars. Rob, thank you very much for the $1.99. I'm back. Rhodes Squadron standing by. And I need to get those damn t-shirts done. So
do it.
Yeah. Callous, you heard about those t-shirts, right?
Nah.
Yeah, man. Mr. Matrixx wife hooked me up with a design. It's going to be the Mandalorian helmet, but he's wearing a cowboy hat.
That's awesome.
And the I'm going to rob a bank bandana across the front. And is the T-bar from the it looks cool. And
is she an artist?
It says Rhodes Squadron on it. Yeah, she's really good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Okay. Mandalorian Chapter 5. Mr. Matrixx, scale of 1 to 10, hit me.
Okay, I'm trying to remember all of my rankings for the other ones, but forget about the rankings for the other ones. It's better than last week's. I'll give them that. We got to go to Tatooine, a little bit of nostalgia. This episode was really for the hardcore Star Wars fans. If you watch the OT and the prequels, you caught a lot of stuff. But overall, ever since episode 3, man, it hasn't been that great. This was an okay episode. Dave Filoni directed it. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, I guess. 6.5 out of 10, something like that. It was okay.
Okay, Lord Callous.
Yeah, I've only seen it the one time, whereas all of the other ones I was able to watch back to back, maybe 2 or 3 times, and sit with it. But coming right out of it, I would probably say 7.5, maybe an 8. I like, just like Matrixx said, I did like the nostalgia, but there were some pieces that were kind of odd to me. I like a flawed character, but I'm almost tired of him getting his butt kicked. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was losing that dog fight until he does, the Poe Dameron move, where he, stops and then the guy shoots past him. I thought that was cool, but I would have preferred to see him maneuver, him fly his, and not to compare him to Boba, but Boba could fly, Jango could fly. I would have liked to have seen more of that Obi-Wan Jango Fett kind of a dog fight than this one. This one was just him getting shot at. He does one move and then he kills him. So I don't want to crap on it, because I did enjoy it in its entirety, but there were I did have some issues with some of it. Yeah. And like when he took the when he left the child with the girl or with the lady, right? And then he was completely okay with it when he came back. Like, that just was kind of weird to me. It was
he didn't really leave the child with her.
No, the second time.
Oh, the second time. Okay.
Yeah. So when he came back, he realized that she had him, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, cool." He got a good feeling about her, and it was all good. I was kind of like, would you really still do that? I don't know. But I enjoyed it. After all, I
actually liked it a little more upon seeing it again. When I initially saw it, I was like, man, I love all the throwbacks, but it was almost knocking you over the head with them initially. I was like, God, one throwback after another. And so when I watched it the first time, I was like, yeah. So I went back and watched it again before I did my review, and I was like, okay, it feels a little more natural upon second viewing of seeing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The opening scene, yeah, Lord Callous, I do agree with you. I don't know if that is a product of the Razor Crest not being able to move like the Slave One, maybe.
Yeah, could be.
It could be budget.
It could be budget.
Could have been budget.
I thought about that too. Yeah. I did like, he threw on the brakes and the guy said, "I can take you in warm or I can take you in cold." And he said, "That's my line."
That's my. I did like that. Yeah, I like that.
That dude could fly too. I mean, he was flying the hell out of his plane.
And unless I'm going nuts, that was a Naboo starfighter, was it not?
It did kind of resemble one. I think the tail, though, was, and this is only one site, so I'd have to go back and watch it. But I remember, because I was trying to piece it, and it didn't have the long piece. You know how the Naboo fighter has the engines out to the side. It's shaped like sort of like this, but then in the back, it's got that long tail, almost like a stingray, and it didn't have that. Not that I recall, at least.
Okay. I did look at the guy's helmet, by the way. It was very reminiscent of the Naboo helmet.
Yeah. Could have been.
When I watched it again.
He could be a bounty hunter from Naboo,
Or it could have been a modified fighter.
Yeah. What was your rating, Rhodes?
I gave it an 8 out of 10, and I'm going to leave it there. I thought about knocking it down a little bit.
Yeah.
One of my issues is the 29.5-minute runtime is driving me nuts.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The wannabe fake Han Solo, I caught on to that fast, and I was like, they shouldn't have made that character like that. They were trying to make him like Han Solo. It's just not gonna work.
So you didn't like the guy? Yeah, I didn't mind the guy at all.
Yeah, I didn't mind him either.
He was okay, but it's like they were just trying to replicate Han Solo without putting Han Solo in there.
Well, he shot first later on.
Yeah.
Remember when he was talking to old girl? He just blew her away.
Yeah.
Except for the Corellia references and sort of the way that he was outfitted, he didn't feel like Han Solo to me. He just felt like a young scrapper that, you know, that was gung. He didn't have the same sort of confidence that Han had. Han was just Han had that presence, you know, from minute one, you know, and he maintained that. Even when he was running scared, he always maintained that presence. This guy was more like a deer in the headlights kind of guy for me. That could have ended up being more. I think they could have taken that. They could have extended his character into maybe even the next episode, because it was like as soon as you see him, you kind of feel like, yeah, he's gonna die. You know what I mean?
Hey, guys, give me a half sec real fast. We may have another joinee here in a second.
Make it happen.
All right, man.
More than Mary.
Rob, you got the link if you want to jump in, man. Yeah, I didn't hate the guy. I did feel like Solo a little bit. Now, the guy that played Han was far superior to this guy, and the guy was very naive.
Yeah, this guy he felt dumb.
Yeah,
it's like, hold on, you don't know that the Mandalorian has a baby, and he's on the run. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Tommy,
especially he was trying to get into the guild, you know.
Yeah, he's trying to get into the guild,
and he should know everything about it.
Entertainment Hacker, thank you for the 250 yen. Merry Christmas. We say Merry Christmas on the Rhodes Ranch channel. Yeah. I'm just letting you know.
No happy holidays.
You can cancel happy holidays. It is Merry Christmas here.
Yeah, you just offended some SJW by saying Merry Christmas.
I hate that for you because we still rock Merry Christmas in Texas.
Yeah, why would anybody want to cancel Christmas?
I have no idea. Speaking of, I plan on doing a watch party for Die Hard this year. So,
what's up, Tommy? There he is.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's everything?
How are you, man?
What's up, Rob?
Hey,
how you doing?
Sorry, how are you, look, Callous?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Look, you got a little one behind you, huh?
Yeah, she loves to get on screen.
Hi.
But
adorable. How are you, John? What's up?
I'm good, man. Good. How are you?
Good. How are you, Rhodes? What's going on, man?
Oh man, I'm just hanging out. Rob, we'll do the same drill. Scale of 1 to 10. What'd you have this?
I liked the episode. I thought it was really good. I could see where you get that Han Solo kind of guy, but I saw him as just a young guy who he really didn't know what he was doing. You know, he was just young and he wanted to be something. You know, so I just thought, okay, he's getting mentored by somebody who's a professional. You know, that's. I mean, the only thing that bothered me about the episode, the beginning was okay, it was cool. But how he just one shot and the guy's gone, you know, the whole ship's gone. In the meantime, he's getting shot at, and he's, you know, I was like, really? Like just one shot and the whole ship blows up, and he's getting shot at, and he doesn't blow up. I'm like, that's a little odd, you know. That bothered me a little.
Especially since I would have liked some. I guess you couldn't have dialogue because he's on the ship by himself, but he's messing with all the buttons. Yes. So you know that he's probably turning on deflector shields and all of this, but there's no conversation. So we don't necessarily, we don't get that same feeling that we do when Han is, you know, or anyone else, because we know what he's Chewie hit you know what I mean? Like we hear that. And so that engages us more. All we're doing is seeing him push buttons, and we're just assuming that he must be, you know, diverting shields this way, or moving the deflector shields, or angling them, you know, whatever the case is. The other thing that bothered me was this damn fuel. I'm so sick of the fuel references. Why are these?
What
happened? Why
are we having such fuel troubles these days?
What is going on in Star Wars? That we just got a fuel shortage.
Oh, funny. Let's welcome the animator and Snoke Spinal Tap to the chat.
Nice. What's up, Snoke?
Yeah, that is kind of weird that all of a sudden that's what the third or fourth reference to fuel, I think, since we started.
Yeah. We don't really need to worry about their fuel that much.
Yeah. It's like, we don't care. Just
Is there a fuel deficiency we don't know about? And maybe they need to let us know. I'm going to tell you one thing I need answered in the overall arc of where we are at right now. How in the F does the tracking fobs work?
I have no idea.
I need this answered.
Yeah, they I don't either. They haven't explained it. I saw somebody that did. I don't remember if it was Reddit or maybe it was on a comment from somebody else, but they explained it as being not an internal chip, but something in the blood or something like that. And I don't know. It's just odd. I would like for them to explain it though, how they work. And by episode, where are we? Episode 5 now. So we've got how many left? Are we going to 8 or 6?
3 more.
So to 8. So are they going to, in enough time, are they going to have enough time to now explain to us what's going on with Baby Yoda? Because that's where I'm ready for that explanation.
I think that's going to be season finale.
You think so?
I'm thinking that they're trying to build everything up for episode 8, which is going to blow us away for season 2. Because I think they want you to see Rise of Skywalker first.
Yeah.
And then they're going to tie that in episode 8. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually think there's a chance that episode 7 is going to be the best one we've seen so far. Because that's the one where Deborah Chow comes back.
She gave us the best one so far.
I think we're going to see Obi-Wan in that one too, by the way. Yeah. And now they're going to leave us, considering the reveal in episode 1, and I guess technically you could call Force sensitive Yoda actually doing something with the Force in episode 2 being a reveal. We kind of knew he was Force sensitive.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
At the end of episode 3, very, very cool, kind of a drop the mic moment with the Mandalorians. And then at the end of this episode, we got something that we're going to get to in a minute. But I think the season finale is going to drop a bomb on us at the very end. I just can't figure out what it would be. I wonder if it's tied into what we saw at the end of this episode, and we may just see little clues for the next 3 episodes till we get the very end of the last episode, and then today we find out. And Lord Callous, who do you think the mystery man is?
I think it's Cad Bane, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because first, just the boots sort of gave me the Cad Bane feel. You know, they only showed us the knee highs, right? And so his boots gave me that feel. And also with the name of this episode being the Gunslinger, the only bounty hunters, and I said this to you, Rhodes, the only bounty hunters that I would ever refer to as gunslingers would be Cad Bane and Jango Fett. Those are the only 2. The others are, you know, they utilize everything. And while Cad and Jango also utilize the other gadgets, they're double fisted, you know, that they are gunslingers. And so I don't think that the title of this was referring to the Mandalorian. I think it was the hint at who we're going to see, that gunslinger at the end. I believe that's Cad Bane.
John Matrixx, do you care to wager a guess on that, maybe?
At first, I was thinking Moff Gideon, but I don't think it will be, because
that's what I thought initially.
Moff Gideon, why would he be out there in the middle of nowhere? They're on Tatooine. What if that is Boba Fett? They're not going to show you now until that final episode. Cad Bane's good guess, but they didn't show the guy's face at all.
We gotta remember,
Boba had
and directed by Dave Filoni. This episode, Cad Bane makes a lot of sense.
Cad Bane makes sense.
Boba's armor is quite different. His boots are different.
But for them to appeal to a bigger audience that hadn't seen Clone Wars, it would have to be somebody big for them not to show his face.
And to tell you the truth, I think that was Boba in that Enclave. He's the only one that has that helmet like that. The one I froze the frame during the my review when down in the Enclave
when they had all the Mandalorians.
Yeah, and he turns around.
That was a guy like him. Yeah,
yeah. He's Boba's the only one that has the antenna up off of his helmet, and the color scheme was the same. I'm like, is that?
I don't think it's him though.
I froze that too, and he made a turn.
The way the cape was.
He made a turn that was a Boba Fett turn.
Yeah,
it was. I was like, "Whoa!"
And they made a point of doing it. As soon as he's the first one that you see, as soon as he comes down those stairs, the first one he's talking, and then just like you said, Rhodes, just like Boba did when he looked and he saw Luke, right? Was it Luke? Yeah. When he did that, he did that turn just like that. Yeah. And it's the same thing. He just turned, and he's the only one that has that helmet.
It could be. I wouldn't be surprised if it is Boba. It could be Tamora Morrison without the helmet. Maybe Daniel Logan. Tamora Morrison is a bit older. And well, how old would Boba be? Boba would be around 50.
He'd be around Han's age. So Han would be.
No, Han is older than Boba.
Yeah, because Boba was in the at least in the expanded universe, he was 60 during the time that we would be into this sequel trilogy. He was about 63 years old during that time period. He's the same age as Luke.
Okay.
To the age of Luke.
Well, he's about 13 years older than Luke, so he's about 40. He's about 40 years old.
I think Daniel Logan's 39 or 38.
Yeah, but they could get Tamora Morrison.
So he was 10 in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, so he's around
10 in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, right there.
So just Tommy, do the math for us.
All right, it is 10 years for Clones. Yeah. Revenge of the Sith is 3 years later. So if he's 10 years old, they make him 13. So when the OT comes, he is 33. The end of the OT is like 5 years later, so he's like 38. And this takes place 5 years later, so he's like 42, 43.
Okay. Daniel Logan did, before this all started, he was kind of ambiguous about some possible involvement in this thing. But I don't know. So I think I even did a video. It was enough that I did a video about it. Happy Dinosaur 8000, Horror Nation, Geo Bricks, Snoke Spinal Tap is in the house. Hello, everybody.
Geo, we are going through some spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, maybe at your own risk.
Yeah, I would definitely. I might advise you to ditch out and come back and check us out on rewatch. Because I'll leave it up. I don't take them down anymore. Horror Nation said they could age up Daniel Logan a little bit.
I would think it would have to be Tamora Morrison for continuity. They're gonna have to look like him, so they have to de-age Tamora Morrison a little bit.
Oh, Daniel Logan is kind of young, 32.
Yeah, and he doesn't exactly look like Tamora Morrison.
No. Yes, Katie Sackhoff is very ambiguous about her involvement as Bo-Katan in this thing. Christian Harloff flat ass asked her, and she was like, "I'm not answering that, Christian, and you know the answer, and why did you ask me?" I did do a video on that. So that's interesting. I mean, everybody loves Katie Sackhoff. Lord knows I do. And she's got a YouTube channel, by the way. I don't know if anybody's subscribed. I am. And she regularly posts videos on there. So we've got Matrixx. You think it's Boba Fett? Maybe?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay. And me and Lord Callous think it's Cad Bane. And like I said, my main thing is with Filoni having written and directed it, Cad Bane makes a lot of sense there, you know.
Yeah, I understand that.
What
about Hondo?
I was thinking Hondo too, but because his boots, he did have knee highs with and that brown soft leather. But would you really call Hondo? Hondo's more of a pirate. You know, Cad was a bounty hunter. Hondo's more of a pirate, not really a gunslinger. Now he's good. He's got a crack shot, but he was more of a pirate.
I think Rob checked out on us.
Yeah. I was looking at that. I'm like, where did he go? And what would it had? It definitely had to be a hunter because they were looking for what's her name? You know, the agent.
Yeah.
And
it had to be a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Right. So that sort of condenses the possibilities right there, I think.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a bounty hunter, then I guess it would be the Fed or it would be.
Yeah.
Well, they said her character.
What if it's Aura Singh?
She's dead.
No, she's dead. She's dead.
Beckett killed her, remember?
Yep.
That would have been cool, but
she was badass.
Yeah, she was cool.
Like, damn, she's dead.
I was thinking we were going to see the Hutts when I found out they were on Tatooine.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
I think somehow, some way, he's going to end up back there. I can't figure out why, but if you go back and look at the trailers, there's parts where Moff Gideon and that Stormtrooper squad, I am almost certain, are on Tatooine.
Yeah.
So I think he makes his way back there.
Plus the Twilight Dancer.
Oh, yeah. Bill Burr is in that cantina, I think. Come to think of it. I got to go back and watch the trailer now. Because I'm almost certain that squad, I don't know if it's him putting it together, but they're sitting in that cantina he walked into. So I don't know.
Do you think that the agent is dead? She took that gut shot, but do you think she's dead?
I don't know. I thought about that too.
I don't know. Guys, if you want to kill somebody, go for the head.
Exactly. There's no question. There's no question.
But I don't think Disney is going to allow a headshot.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody did point out in the comment section of my review that as the bounty hunter was walking up at the end, there was a sound. And they said that particular sound is a sound you hear when Boba Fett is about to come onto the screen in the specialized edition of A New Hope where he's trailing Jabba. And I thought, that's interesting. I knew that sound was
I got to watch it again because for some reason I feel like it was a Spurs sound that I heard.
Well, there is a Spurs, but there's another sound. It almost sounds like some kind of a, I don't know if maybe there's some sort of a tracking thing going on or if it's something coming off the wrist. You know how he's got got all those little gadgets on his wrist. Horror Nation, I think Boba got some new armor because someone else took his original armor in the Aftermath books. So Boba's out there somewhere. Yeah, but all those have been thrown out.
Well, not the Aftermath. Aftermath is canon.
Okay, that's right. That's right. I wonder if the Mandalorian will get a bounty for the Hunt Slayer. Interesting.
Nah.
That's pretty funny though, Snoke.
I don't know. I thought it was Moff Gideon too, but I just don't know. It wouldn't make. I don't know that makes sense right there in that particular
could be Death Watch armor. That's true.
Do you think we're gonna get a Skywalker name drop in this season?
I'm not entirely sure we're not going to get a de-aged Luke at some point.
I don't think we are. It seems like it's so far away. Even though they were on Tatooine, it felt so far away from the movies.
The thing is that if they're going to correct the wrong that was done to Luke, this would be the way to do it. In this series or in the Kenobi series, that would be the way to do it, so that we could at least breathe easy. Like, they protected my man in some way. Because right now they've just left us, pissed off, and
Oh man, they could destroy Luke in the Obi-Wan TV show as a little boy. I can see them doing that.
I would hope not. Well, let's say if we just have a reference. I don't need them to, for him to star, to have any sort of a major role in it. But it would just be nice to see Luke again as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And this would be the best time period, because it's 5 years. He just he just destroyed the Empire, and they're rebuilding at this point, and this would be the New Republic is forming, and this would just be an awesome time to see Luke Skywalker.
But the thing is, in canon, he's out looking for artifacts and stuff like that. So,
well, why not? The Mandalorian can run into him out there.
I was thinking from the moment that Baby Yoda came into play, at that moment I thought, man, there's a chance we might see Luke in this thing.
I think there's a better chance we'll see Palpatine in the season finale, because Rise of Skywalker comes out the week before, and he's in that movie. Baby Yoda is connected to Palpatine some kind of way, if you ask me. So you see Rise of Skywalker, you see Palpatine, and you get some tidbits, and then you find out that it's Palpatine that was looking for Baby Yoda in the last episode.
Fatal J, you got the link.
And the other thing is that or a connection that they could have with Luke is through this child, because again, and I've said it before, this child was born 7 years before the events of the Phantom Menace, and they were at that point, the Jedi Seekers were out. They found and identified all Force sensitive children in the universe at that time period. So would Luke know about him? Could he know about Luke? So there is the possibility that if the Mandalorian holds on to Baby Yoda throughout this entire series, or at least throughout this first season, or maybe even into the second season, that could be the bridge. You know what I mean? Just the fact that they're Force sensitive.
Yeah.
Because Luke
I was just wondering if the Mandalorian could hear stories about Luke Skywalker, find out he's still out there, and he's like, maybe he's the key to figuring out the significance of this child. I mean, we know we're getting a second season. Who knows? We may get a third season.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, what a great moment to set up if you have him bring this child into a room and set him down in front of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
That would be powerful. I mean, and have Mark Hamill de-aged, but look at him the way he used to look at Yoda,
Yeah.
And just realize he could say, I've only seen one other of his kind, et cetera, because they don't have a species for him. And that would be some powerful stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
I thought one of the other things that this episode helped me connect was, the reason why, because in the first episode where he's like, no droids, I didn't get that, why he had such an aversion to the droid driving the speeder.
Because of droid army.
Exactly. Yeah. So when he was so opposed to it this time, like, that it must be because of the Separatist army. And that's why he's like, no droids. So I thought that was pretty cool that he's carried that this long.
Fatal J, you got the link, man. I don't even know if he. Snoke Spinal Tap said that on the back of the deluxe Boba Fett figure, it talked about Fett surviving the Sarlacc and going for the bounty for Leia having killed Jabba the Hutt. Horror Nation says, I think the season finale will end with Boba taking the child, and we see them take off in the Slave One. The Mandalorian goes full John Wick next season. That would be cool. I mean, no doubt. They've got to give him another time in this show to go full badass like he did at the end with IG-11, you know.
He hadn't done that the last 2 episodes.
Right.
He's just been getting effed up. And I didn't mind. I actually enjoyed the fight with Cara Dune, because that just made sense to me. I know some people didn't like it, but to me it made sense because, I mean, she's a special forces, soldier. It just made sense that it was just showing them that they're of equal melee abilities. You know what I mean?
Except if you hit somebody with armor on with your bare fists.
Nah, she didn't have bare fists. Look at her gloves. Her gloves have padded knuckles. And one of the other things I wanted to talk about with that, and think about with conventional martial arts, right? Where this is us doing this, and we're not even talking fantasy. This is reality, that we're cracking a brick that is stacked among over 5 bricks. This first one stays fine and the other ones crack, right? That's a human being doing that. Okay, with bare fists. So a Mandalorian's helmet, if she's punching the helmet just to show or just to try to impact him underneath it, that's not impossible. It's not inconceivable, if you will. And think about this also. One of the conventions that I went on for work, we had a Navy SEAL that just talked to us about their training. And I mean, the shit that they go through, sorry for that, but the stuff that they go through was not, wouldn't be different from what this special officer or this special forces soldier would have been subjected to. So,
but you know what? It was just so many flaws with that episode. I'm going to tell you why. Remember in episode 1 or episode 2, remember the Mandalorian female, the Sage? What did she ask him? She asked him right before he gave up that, she made him that armor. She said, have you ever took off your helmet before? Remember that?
She said, no, she said, has anybody ever taken it off?
I thought she said,
no, you're right. She did. She said, have you ever taken it off, or has anybody ever taken it off? Yes.
And then right in that episode, he took his helmet off.
I know, but that was
he said, I took it off yesterday.
Yeah.
And she followed up with, when's the last time you've done it in front of somebody?
That's
and
what
he
it
said,
is.
Since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just that episode 4 had so many flaws. It was just so slow. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but it was just so slow. Now, this episode 5, I don't know y'all ratings, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Tatooine, it just gave me a special feeling all over my body when I seen Tatooine.
Fatal J, give us your rating, man. Give it to us.
8.5.
Wow.
Oh.
Whoa.
8.5, bro. It was dope. I enjoyed it. This was a great comeback to episode 4 being so slow.
See, I liked episode 4. I didn't think I liked it more than this one, but I didn't hate it as much as it's gotten hate, because I just enjoyed the compassion in it. It just made, it felt like, all right, we've been moving. Let's slow down for a minute. Let's show what it would be like for him to actually, I didn't necessarily agree with him falling in love. People were under the impression, though, that this is happening in days. This is happening across weeks, maybe even months, that he's there. That wasn't days.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't days.
But I still think about what you told me during that first episode when he was on the horse and he was falling, and we seeing his flaws and we seeing his emotional side. I get it, because they keep showing when he's a kid and it looked like they destroying his village. So I can see how he can relate, but it was still, I don't know. It was a lot of stuff off with episode 4 to me. It just felt weird.
Well, one of the things that everybody kept complaining about is they said the episode went woke. I didn't see that at all.
No, I didn't.
This episode?
No, episode 4.
Oh,
about
no.
And everybody
because of the girl.
Everybody kept complaining about Cara Dune. I said, my God, she's basically
Rebel Special Forces,
Navy SEAL or an Army Ranger or Special Forces of the Rebel Alliance. She ought to be able to go toe to toe with a Mandalorian.
And see, this is the thing. I like a dope female character. She's dope to me. But the only thing that threw me out was that damn fight. But since Callous said she had padded knuckles, I can give it that.
Yeah, if you look at the gloves, you will see it. Yeah, because you'll see that her gloves are padded across the knuckles.
Cause I mean, come on. If you see a dude coming at you with full armor and all you got is your knuckles, you're not gonna punch that dude. You're not gonna punch him.
If you know you gotta survive, you punching everything.
Bro. If I survive, I'm running.
She also got to jump on him too, because she jumped out of nowhere and was I'm here.
But this is what killed me too. Okay, after they was on their backs and drawing guns both on each other. The Mandalorian beat up. Can't say what I want to say, but he beat up and said, "Do you want to drink?"
I don't think so. See, you could see when they have the conversation in the cantina, right? You start to recognize that they recognized that they weren't a threat to each other during the fight. That at first she thought he was there for him. He thought she was there for, they thought that they may have been hunting each other, but then, and that's why she said, I came at you so hard at first. But then during the fight, they realized that it wasn't. So it almost transitioned into just a arm wrestling match.
That's weird to me, because if you got two mofos who are the best at what they do, they're killing machines. If anything, they just gonna size each other up. They're not just gonna go in and start fighting each other. You know what I mean?
No, she said she wasn't sure at first. That she said that's why I came at you so hard at first.
He didn't have any malice towards her. He was going out there to try to get her to assist him, is what his interest in her was. And then she jumped him, and that's when they scuffled. But he wasn't never going to try to kill her.
But but I'll take that. And but this is what I will say. I won't say that episode was woke, because he got some good shots on her too.
Yeah.
He got some good shots on her. I'm like full on hard blown punches.
Yeah.
So, usually in the woke one, the woman completely beats the man down.
Yeah, no episode yet has been woke.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna, honestly, now I don't think we're gonna get one.
But that episode 5, when I seen them get on that speeder. Oh man, that was great, bro.
It was on some Harleys.
Yeah, I like that though. And that ship, I don't know. I know y'all don't already touched on it, but that ship battle, I loved it, bro.
Ooh,
it looked so retro, but bro, it looked so retro, looking like something from the original trilogy. The style of it,
yeah, it fell short for me. I liked that it opened up with it. But I just would have liked to have seen him, and Rhodes made a great point. Maybe the Razor Crest isn't a maneuverable craft, but I would have just liked to have seen more of a Django Obi-Wan dog fight where we could see that he's able to pilot this thing. He looked like he's just it could be a shuttle. He just knows how to get it from point A to point B. But if you want him to try to dog fight, he's not doing it unless he's cutting off the brakes and shooting.
But this the weird thing about Mando. Mando is good, but he's flawed too. Like, he's not the best bounty hunter we've seen in Star Wars. Have y'all noticed that?
Yeah.
But yes, he's let's say this. He's not the toughest. He's cunning. He's intelligent. And at the end of the day, whether it's luck, whether it's the Force, he does always end up on top.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, is he the best? I mean, he is the one walking around with the best scar.
Well, and the other thing is, think about how he walked into the back of that Imperial base to get Baby Yoda out of there and went Dark Knight on
Yeah.
everybody.
That was
Yeah.
the highlight of the
Yeah.
freaking season. Because
Yeah.
we never saw nothing like that in Star Wars besides Revenge of the Sith. Something so dark like that. That was a dark thing.
Yeah.
Y'all forget the first scene in the first episode. He took dude's knife and stabbed him in his own ass with it.
Oh yeah.
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 Man,
Yeah.
I think episode 6, man, it needs to get back to those first 3 episodes. It needs to at this point, man. Because really, honestly, I don't know the lady's name at the port that he landed on the landing platform. She came off as such cartoonish to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took you out of it. It was too comedic.
It was too comedic. It felt like a little something you would probably see on like Star Wars Resistance in a way.
And it was almost like they was playing to the fans too, because everybody was like, "Oh, Baby Yoda." It seemed like they trying to sell the toy, because I know the toy's about to come out too, right? For Christmas.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Oh, it's not?
Oh, they
No.
not?
No.
May.
Next year.
May.
Oh, okay. I was thinking December 25th, 26th. It was going down with Baby Yoda.
You would think that, but Disney is just so stupid when it comes to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Another bad decision.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. And they're gonna use it for May the 4th.
Probably so.
Oh, that's interesting.
Big mistake.
See, now the dope stuff they don't release, but the stupid stuff they release.
Yep.
You know?
That's the way to do it. This is the way.
I was talking the other day about the fact that there's Rise of Skywalker merchandise in my local Walmart on the clearance aisle already.
Isn't that crazy?
The movie
Isn't
hadn't
that
even
crazy?
come out yet.
It's sad, man. It's sad. I mean,
Yeah.
with Force Awakens, even into Last Jedi, like that Target section was packed. I mean, it was packed. And now it's like you might see one doll hanging there, one figure hanging there, one lightsaber, and everything else is on the clearance. It's crazy.
Think about how significant Star Wars merchandise is to companies. That some have said that the direct demise of Toys R Us was because Star Wars toys quit selling. Think about that.
Yeah.
That had a massive impact on Toys R Us actually closing its doors.
That's true.
Because The Last Jedi came out, they didn't sell any merchandise out of it, and it greatly impacted their bottom line because that movie came out, remember, right before Christmas that year. And that's when the majority of their toy sales happened, and nobody was buying Last Jedi shit.
And I could remember back in the day, Star Wars toys were so collectibles. You couldn't even find certain characters because it was so rare.
Yeah.
And they didn't want you opening the packages because it would devalue it. But now it's free game for any, you know?
And J.J. Abrams isn't doing any favors to episode 9, talking about identity politics is coming to episode 9, and he's not saying anything about the story. But there's going to be representation.
Yeah.
Think about this. Other than the leaks, let's say there were no leaks whatsoever. We wouldn't have a damn clue what this movie was about right now. Nothing. We wouldn't really and truly know what is the plot of the movie. Just a general synopsis plot.
Yeah, we didn't hear any it's time for the Jedi to end. There's nothing, hasn't been anything like that.
No.
To have us speculate, what is he talking about? What's going on? Yeah. And then, some of the visuals that they gave us that did have us questioning, they ended up answering the question. Like with that first trailer, we see when you see the dagger in Rey's hand, and both she and Kylo swing at that podium, right, and crack that podium. So we speculated that that's Vader's helmet on there, right? But nobody really knew. And then in this last TV spot, it's like they put it right in your face. Here's Vader's helmet. Like, oh my God.
But John said something so cold. I heard John talking. They messed up bad when they put that damn dagger. That dagger that goes with the entire leaks. You remember the first leak that came out?
Yeah. Yeah.
That whole script was about that dagger finding what was it? Palpatine.
It's the Wayfinder. Yeah.
Wayfinder.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. The lease is true.
Yep. Yep, and that's how C-3PO is going to get his memory wiped because he can't decode it
Right.
with his program.
Right.
This gonna be worse than Last Jedi. I didn't even think that was gonna be possible.
You know what? I think it just may be worse than Last Jedi. I never thought I would say that, but
let me say this.
Man.
I don't know how.
The way that it can, John. Rhodes, is that if the way that it will be worse than The Last Jedi for me is if those leaks are true and they destroy Anakin as Return of the Jedi. If they destroy Anakin as the chosen one
is
then
over.
it is over. Then it's worse than The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Because George Lucas, John, I've seen your video. George Lucas said out of his own freaking mouth that Anakin Skywalker is the chosen one.
Chosen one. And I mean, there's no even in I'm reading
it's not even debatable.
Not even in The Apprentice. So the last book that I'm reading, that you guys probably heard or seen it. It's canon now, the Apprentice, and it's going through Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, right? And it's talking through that the mystics, the Jedi mystics, they had a ton of different prophecies, right? But the one thing that they do and this is Claudia Gray that wrote this book, that she did a great job of doing is keeping the chosen one prophecy intact. So they've added different prophecies, right? So Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, they're speaking through a bunch of different prophecies that the Jedi mystics have come up with, right? They're different holocrons. But Obi-Wan speaks specifically to the fact that what's up with this chosen one prophecy, but they never go into it. So they let us understand that this is still intact. The Jedi, the prophecy of the chosen one is still intact, which would mean Anakin is still the chosen one. They didn't touch that.
But here's the problem, man. I got a bad feeling about this, pun intended. This movie is about to go full Terminator Dark Fate.
Yes, it is.
I got a bad feeling about that.
No, I hope not, because that's what will kill it for me.
It's gonna ruin for the other movies that came before it.
Look, going into this, all I really wanted was let Lando, Chewie, and the Falcon survive the movie. Let's have a nice epic space battle. Let's have Anakin with direct involvement in the demise of Palpatine at the end.
Doesn't look like that's going to happen.
That is my number one thing. Well,
I don't even want Palpatine back. Like, for me
either.
I just want you saying, you want this to be the sequel trilogy, your own new thing. So then let it be that. That's where I am. But let it be that. Give me this, whoever this new villain is, if it's not Kylo Ren, but don't go and retcon everything else to try to blow this one up.
And apparently you've heard about Palpatine, how he's back. Spoiler alert. Yeah. The rumor is that Anakin killed a clone in Jedi. It wasn't the real Palpatine.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I will stand up and beat my head into Max Theater.
The hardcore fans will burn Lucasfilm and Disney to the ground if that's true.
That sounds like something they would do, though. And
Ryan Johnson, thanks for putting a lightsaber right through the middle of Snoke, because you may have ruined Anakin.
Yeah.
Well,
when it's all said and done.
Well, here's the thing. They're going to make Snoke even more irrelevant, because the new beginning of the rumor is that Kylo Ren walks in as a bunch of clones of Snoke, and that was Palpatine's doing.
Well, see, we don't really care about Snoke, but if you make him a clone in Return of the Jedi, it's going down.
Yeah, but Snoke was formidable. They didn't have to bring Palpatine back. If Ryan Johnson hadn't killed Snoke, we wouldn't have Palpatine right now, and everything would be fine. Who gives a flying shit if Rey kills Snoke at the end of Episode 9 as long as Palpatine is not involved?
Because the mysteriousness of Snoke That's what kept us interested. We wanted to know how the freak he was so damn powerful. How
Snoke
he so
was supposed to be the Emperor, and Kylo was supposed to be Vader.
Yep.
Yeah.
But see, Kylo messed up when he took that mask off, bro. That's when he messed up.
Alexa Siri, hello.
Hello there.
Oh, and she's really trying to be positive about the movie too. Chubby Teddy, what's up?
I am too.
It's hard.
I want
It's hard.
nothing but to be positive about it. But when you see,
Bye, Rob.
If they say Palpatine was a clone in Return of the Jedi, I'm walking out the movie theater straight up. I'm walking out.
But they're gonna have to address Snoke, and Snoke isn't around.
Yeah, they gonna have to address that.
I mean,
wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny, John, if they don't address it?
They have to address it. I mean, what other reason would Snoke just kind of get killed off in the middle of it? What would be the reason? What's his significance to the overall sequel trilogy?
And you know what? The only explanation is he a freaking clone.
That's it.
They can't say it's Plagueis because they don't want to use the EU.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be Plagueis, though.
My thing is, how do we know that this Palpatine is the real Palpatine again?
Not only that, but we just found out there's 47 Snoke clones out there that could come to life and come back for episode 10.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
This movie, man, it's a dumpster fire.
And I had just bought my ticket when I heard Palpatine was a clone in Return of the Jedi, and I was like, fuck.
If they do that, man.
And according to the end of the script, the way Palpatine is gonna die is by all the Force ghosts coming back, right? Luke, Han, Leia, Obi-Wan.
No, it was supposed to be just in one of the leaks, Han came back to speak to Kylo,
which makes no sense.
Yeah, which didn't make any sense unless he wasn't a Force ghost. He was just a regular human ghost, and then so I don't know, bro.
Now you got ghosts in Star Wars.
Now you got regular ghosts and stuff. Now you got Casper the friendly ghost, Han the friendly ghost.
Who you gonna call?
Wolfbusters.
Yeah, I mean, so they've got Han coming back to talk to and convince Kylo that he is he's not beyond redemption, and so that's what makes him go to help Rey as she confronts Palpatine and learns that Palpatine is her grandfather, and then also in that same leak, Luke and Leia are the ones that come back to help Rey defeat Palpatine in that particular leak.
Yeah.
So Kylo dies. Rey can't beat Palpatine by herself, and Leia and Luke come back.
Callous.
Yeah, after Kylo Ren's dead.
After Kylo,
yeah, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Peep this, y'all. According to the script, Kylo has never beaten Rey.
Yeah.
Well, no shit.
The protagonist is supposed to at least get beat one time. You know,
we're 2 movies in.
Has she broken nail?
No.
But evidently she'll crash a ship with Chewbacca in it.
I mean, at least this movie's such a dumpster fire. They got Finn crying Rey once again. Lando is wearing the Pando Calrissian outfit. That should tell you right there this movie's going to be crap.
But he said they got his words wrong with that gender fluid stuff.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know what the freak gender fluid was.
No. Mainstream media, they ran with it.
Yeah.
Alexa says, I'm curious who Ryan planned to be the villain in episode 9 since he killed Snoke. Ryan wasn't planning nothing.
Ryan was self-contained. All he cared about was what
making
he
his
was
own
doing.
movie.
That was it. He didn't care what came before and what came after. He just wanted to do his movie and then deal with it.
He's like, y'all deal with it. I ain't coming back anyway. I got paid.
How would y'all feel if this Palpatine ended up being a clone instead of the actual Palpatine? Would that have helped?
No, it's
What-
still. I mean, it doesn't necessarily. It. If he is a clone, it does keep Anakin intact, because the prophecy says that the chosen one defeats the Sith. Now the Sith are always two,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so if he's a clone, then he's not a Sith. He
Yeah.
has to go, he has to study, you have to
Right.
become Sith. You're not just clone Sith. You're not just born Sith unless you are of the Sith race, right? But if you're talking about the ideology and the philosophy behind the actual religion, then no. Right. And so that's why even when people speak of Asajj Ventress, and I'm like, no, she was not Sith. And listen to Dooku. He even tells her, you are not Sith. It's more than just you having amber red eyes,
Yeah.
right, and a red
Yeah.
lightsaber.
Because
And you're using the dark side.
Dooku would have had to kill off Palpatine, and then she would have been the Sith apprentice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Why didn't
What?
they just? I would have turned Rey to the dark side, had Kylo flip at the end of this movie, and then have Kylo strike Rey down and shoot the deuce and walk
She'll
out.
never go to the dark side because it'll go against the narrative of Superwoman.
It'd have been
You know
easy.
what I mean?
Man,
Everybody
you really,
hates Rey. Kill. I've said this for months. Kill Rey.
you really think Walt Disney Star Wars is going to allow that to happen?
Exactly.
Everybody hates this character.
They
Kill
don't care.
her.
Disney doesn't think so.
the thing is that what they could have done, there's nothing like a female villain. There's nothing more
He's right.
evil than when you see a woman playing a villain, because it seems like, just looking at it, it just seems unnatural, because when you think about a woman, you think that they're nurturing, you think that they're so regardless, the bottom line is, when you see a female villain, there's something next level about that. So when if they wanted to really give Rey some edge, they should have turned her and then made her the villain at the end. I don't know how it would have worked out, but that would have given her some damn edge.
And I would have said the powerful moment was when she have her turn right there in front of Finn and light her lightsaber and strike Finn down, and because that's her boy, strike Finn down after he's been following her this whole time.
Ray!
That's all
Boom.
he do.
End him, and everybody be like, "Oh shit,
They fly
she went
now?
to the dark side for real."
Oh God!
You know?
They fly now. All he do is buck his eyes and scream during the whole movie. They fly now. Come on, man.
They've been flying
Gee.
for 1,000 years.
Oh, man.
Geo Bricks. So, guys, how excited were you after the first teaser came out for The Rise of Skywalker back at Celebration? I guess it would be.
I wasn't excited.
That teaser wasn't
I
great.
was.
It wasn't that great. And then I heard Palpatine's laugh, and I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah.
That was it.
That didn't
Yeah.
excite me either.
It had promise. So
It was
the whole
unexpected.
time I'm thinking that JJ, he's gotta pull out all stops for this one. So that in itself made me excited about what he could potentially bring to the screen, right? Without any knowledge of what he was going to do. So up until the D23 trailer, I was good. All of those trailers were okay for me. And then those leaks started coming out.
Right.
When I first heard the laugh, I honestly thought that was Snoke. I got excited for Snoke coming back. But when I found out, when I listened to it, and said, dang, that's Palpatine laughing.
I knew that was
That was-
Palpatine immediately. That was
Yeah.
his laugh.
I did
Yeah,
too.
that-
You see
yeah.
my reaction. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
But to me, that was disappointing, man. That was disappointing.
It
That was
raised some
disappointing.
interesting questions, but I didn't know he was going to put together a dumpster fire like he has. And let me address J.J. Abrams right quick, because this son of a bitch made a statement this week that makes me want to drive an arrow through his fucking eye hole.
That's your
Because-
boy.
Because this son of a bitch says Some people are going to like this film, and some people are going to hate it.
He talking like Ryan Johnson.
Thanks a lot, Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what Ryan Johnson said.
Yeah.
He know his crowd. He know his crowd.
Yeah, he knows it. I mean, the expression on those people's faces, the cat's face when Tiffany Smith asked him to express how the end is. That was just, I had a Game of Thrones season 8 finish. I mean, this could actually be worse than Bran becoming the king at the end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I can't remember.
Lord Callous looks depressed as all.
I am, man, because I really was hoping that they were, and I'm still hoping that we're wrong. That they're just, you know.
I hope the leaks are all wrong.
Yeah, I hope that they're throwing us all kinds of different off the mark, and they're releasing all of these teasers and spots because some may be true, or maybe they were filmed but they're not actually making it into the movie, because sometimes they do that.
But
they do.
But most of these
I'm talking about you thinking it's gonna come out great. This is desperation. This is desperation.
The thing
all
is,
these little snippets, that's desperation.
The thing is, a lot of these leaks are true. The Sith dagger, we saw it.
Yeah.
Rey getting trained by Leia. Even Star Wars has come out and said that's happening. A lot of these leaks are true. So you can't even deny it anymore.
But what's crazy is that the book, so I read the Resistance Reborn. They didn't speak on that at all. They didn't speak on Leia. Leia's in the book. This is what they're doing after The Last Jedi, before The Rise of Skywalker, where they're going and they're out in the galaxy. They're split off into 3 different teams. They're out in the galaxy trying to gather support for the Resistance. And so Rey is with Leia the whole time. She doesn't go with Finn and Poe. She doesn't go and meet Wedge, because we see Wedge and his wife and their daughter, their daughter-in-law and their son. All of them are in it. They're in this new book. Resistance
Carrie
Reborn.
Fisher is not in this movie.
No, but she's in this book. Leia is in the book, and Rey is with her. And this is actually where you learn that because Finn and Rey are in the base and they're talking, right? They're at a table and they're talking together. Poe comes in and he sees them having a conversation, right? And they're kind of playing around. Then they get serious. Rey gets up and leaves and leaves Finn there. And Poe addresses Finn. He's like, "Hey, what's up with you guys? Something, you know?" And Finn is like, "No." That's where he shoots that down. He says, "No, we're just friends." And he's like, "Oh, okay. What about Rose?" You know? And he shoots that down too. He's like, "No, we're just friends as well." So you learn in Resistance Reborn that there's no intimate relations between Finn and Rey and Finn and Rose.
But check this out,
and
Tyler.
that's all for Finn. Finn is the one that denies it to Poe in that book. That book is canon.
But check this out.
Go ahead.
Fatal J used to smoke the wacky tobacco. Okay. So I will already be at a certain level. Now I will take a cigarette and smoke that and get a boost. Okay. Now the cigarette didn't make me high. It was just the booster. The books are only supposed to be the booster. It shouldn't explain why the movie is horrible.
Well, no, I'm not talking about why the movie is horrible or not. But now with Disney owning them, the books, everything is about continuity with Disney now. So whether we like it or not, you will have to read the books. You will have to read the comics. You will have to play the games if you want to know the entire context of everything that's going on. Like it or not, that's just what it is. And that's why they say with all of these new books, it says a journey to the Rise of Skywalker, a journey to The Last Jedi, a journey to The Force Awakens. So all of the questions, or many of the questions that we have, are being answered in these books. So it's not like it was before, where you'd see something happen and maybe that force power would appear in the movie. It's not like that. This is the continuity. You have to read the books, you have to read the comics, you have to play the video games, you have to watch the movies, you have to watch the TV shows. That's the canon now.
That sucks though.
It just is what it is.
That sucks because like for instance, you put me on game, or it might have been somebody else. I always wanted to see what actually happened in Revenge of the Sith where Anakin went in and killed off the Jedi. And they told me I had to play a certain game. Okay, now that's understandable because the movie didn't have enough runtime to show Anakin actually fighting other Jedis within the temple. But when it comes to a point where they got to explain the freaking movie because the movie messed up, to me that sucks.
Yeah, well,
That sucks.
I mean, that's true, but I'm not necessarily saying, like, for example, how they go back and they answered why it is that Rey was trained. That was or how she was able to learn all of her Force abilities through that Force download through
God, I hate that.
Yeah, but you could see that was a catch up because before the books used to come out before the movie.
Yeah.
Now the movie comes out and then we get the books.
See,
so they
sucks.
said, they're asking too many questions. We gotta fix this. And so now we get a Force download through that interaction that they had. That wasn't the intention.
Yeah.
You're not going to sit here and tell me that was the intention, that when he did that she learned all of those things. No, because JJ, I do not believe that JJ's intention was not to have her be a Skywalker. I don't believe that. I believe she was supposed to be a Skywalker. Finn was supposed to be a Jedi. Snoke was supposed to last until the last one. The Knights of Ren, all of that, if JJ had have done all three movies, would have been more of a consistent storyline that we were blessed with. We got a hodgepodge damn puzzle put together, and they went back and fixed things after the fact. That's not how it's supposed to be, and they're doing a better job with these novelizations now of keeping everything in line.
But Callous, peep this. Okay, Rey is being taught by Leia, right?
Yeah,
It's not in the book, but that's what they're saying.
But I'm talking about in episode 9. So why in the freak we never did see her do anything in The Last Jedi except the Mary Poppins thing? Why didn't she use a lightsaber?
Thank you.
So here's the thing.
Thank you.
So the problem with that though is, well, it's twofold really. The first is that they messed that up. She shouldn't be General Organa. She should be Jedi Knight. Solo. She should be Jedi Solo. From The Force Awakens. She shouldn't be no General Organa. So that's the first way that they messed that up. And then it would have made sense for her having to train her because Leia is a Jedi Knight. Okay. Based on even Return of the Jedi. Let me not even say Return of the Jedi. Empire Strikes Back. When Yoda says, no, there is another. The other is Leia.
Yeah.
Okay. Yoda knew it. Luke knew it. Vader knew it. The other is Leia. Okay,
but they didn't execute this in Force Awakens and Last Jedi. Now she's training Rey. That doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense at all.
She didn't pull out a lightsaber and help Luke when he was standing on his own, when he was going against the First Order. I mean, it just when she did the Mary Poppins thing, that was out of instinct to me.
Well, no, she always had the Force,
but
they just didn't do their job in executing that.
They didn't.
She always had the Force. Yeah.
Now all of a sudden she a full out Jedi master.
And the reason why I don't know if I can believe it is because of this book. They don't make any mention of her training her in the book. There's no even of Leia. Now, in the book, Leia is recovering from the damage that she suffered from The Last Jedi. She's weak as hell in that book.
It was originally supposed to kill her, I think.
Yeah. She's weak in that book, so I don't know where she's training anybody. Yeah. Maybe they're
doing this because Rian Johnson killed Luke. That's the only reason why.
That's it.
Well, he also made him a quitter too. He didn't want to train anybody.
Yeah. Okay, let's flash forward before we wrap it up. My final question to each one of you. Let's flash forward 5 years. Are they going to reboot this sequel trilogy?
Who want to go first?
John Matrixx.
Talking about the George Lucas treatments.
Yep.
Are they going to reboot the sequel trilogy?
Using George's treatment?
No way in hell. They have too much pride.
Do they want to make money? Do they want to sell merchandise?
Even if they use George Lucas's treatment, they're not going to make money. They're not going to sell toys. They've done so much damage.
They're gonna reboot it. They're gonna reboot it, bro. I'm telling you.
So you don't think if they bring in a hotshot producer, a hotshot director,
Hollywood is scared to do new,
and George Lucas,
Hollywood is scared to do new stuff,
y'all. Get on board with that.
I think if they do, 5 years is too soon. I don't think. I would agree with John that they're too prideful in the next 5 years. I think that because we would still be alive. I think that
you know what? I can think that doing this. I can actually see them trying to reboot the OT.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The OT.
Me Too era.
Yeah.
I can see them doing something like that.
Yeah.
They're gonna reboot the OT, not this new
boy, they would go broke.
I told you when they bought it, that was their purpose eventually.
Y'all gonna think I'm crazy when I say this. This how I know they gonna reboot the OT. It's a little cartoon out that's on YouTube. You can watch it for free, all of them.
Star Wars Kids.
Star Wars Kids, Galaxy Adventure, whatever. They changing the whole game. It looked totally different from the OT.
That thing is crap too, man.
It was crap.
But they shooting that towards the kids because they getting ready in a few years to reboot the OT. This is the thing about Hollywood. They are afraid to be creative and unique and do something new. Yeah. Watch what I tell you. Yeah. I give it back 6 or 7 years, they're going to reboot the OT.
And you know what they did? They put Jake Skywalker in there too. It ain't Luke. That's Jake.
No, it's not Luke. And they gave us a crazy Leia. I mean, do you see Leia? Like she looks literally crazy. Like her eyes are bugged out. And she's like,
they gotta have that strong women.
Leia was strong. Leia was smart. Like this is not Leia. This woman is crazy.
Yeah. She's slapping Luke in this one and stuff.
Yeah, she was pushing Luke around and everything, man.
Yeah, that's coming. I'm telling you, OT reboot.
Okay, everybody in the chat, I know we showed up for the Mandalorian, but we had to talk about, when I saw the TV spot with the dagger, I said, this has got to be brought up tonight because we've got to hash it out. And we all think it's trash, basically. Essentially, me and Lord Callous are still 0.001% hopeful.
I am. I'm
not hopeful.
I'm hoping that.
I'm hoping I don't burn my $20 I just spent.
So y'all hoping that what we see in the trailer is not actually in the movie, and we'll just be surprised.
Yeah, there's with what they've released. I just think I'm hoping that it's out of context. What they're showing us and what they're leaking are not the same things, right?
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping for.
And here's the other thing. People forget this. The in-game leaks came out and people lost their shit. They was like, this movie's going to be trash. This is going to suck, blah, blah, blah. And it executed on screen exactly like the leaks did. And everybody was blown away.
But think about that. That's the MCU though.
You know, so that does a lot of it is execution. How does it get executed?
But remember, they have the Russo brothers. Star Wars has J.J. Abrams.
Tommy,
Ryan Johnson.
We've got some good possibilities in here. We don't know what's going on with the Sith troopers. We don't know what's going on with this expansive fleet. We don't know what's going on with the Knights of Ren, right? And so there could be some things in there that twist or turn this in such a way that it's like, okay, not I'm back.
Callous, you know why I'm not banking on that? Because they had
bring back Palpatine.
Callous, they had 2 dope side characters that they could have did so much with. And I'm gonna tell you, that's why I don't care about Sith troopers. Captain Phasma and Hunts. You could have did so much with them 2 characters, and now they're nothing.
Yeah.
They're nothing, bro. So that Knights of Ren, I'm not even worried about it because they probably gonna see 3 seconds of screen time.
But the Knights of Ren from the Force Awakens, we've been hearing about them for what 5-6 years now.
Right.
You know, the Knights of Ren. Now the Sith troopers are new to this. The Sith trooper is not new to the Star Wars universe, but it's new to this sequel trilogy. But I am still intrigued by the Knights of Ren because I want to know if, you know, the name is in itself, because you have Kylo Ren, you have the Knights of Ren, we have the Ren name is Clan Ren from the Mandalorians. And we don't know, you know, was it adapted from there? What these guys are, they Force users? Because we're hearing that they're, if you read that book, the Ultimate Edition, the new one that just came out in October, it says that they are formidable, that there's nobody that can fight with these guys, the Knights of Ren. So the only person that's supposed to be able to do that is Kylo. So are these guys former Jedi? Are these guys former Mandalorians? Are you know, from Clan Ren? Like who are these guys? And so the mystery behind them is still intriguing. But you're, like you said, if they turn around and do a Captain Phasma, or they turn around and do a Hux on us, then it's
because
like,
watch Callous, watch. This is what's gonna piss you off. Finn a trip over a mop and accidentally kill the Knights of Ren. That's how they'll die.
They can't even fix Finn for me, because I you know, Finn should have been a Jedi.
We will leave it here. The one thing that we can think about is Variety's report that Favreau and Filoni are gaining more power in Lucasfilm.
They need it. That needs to happen.
So when I really talk about the future, I'm not talking about Kathleen Kennedy anymore. I'm not. Okay, so they're going to take a step back, those two, and do something else. It ain't going to go in the direction it's been going. Now, they might deliver some pure crap, but so far, so good. Okay, so any parting shots, gentlemen?
We have less than 2 weeks away from episode 9.
14 days.
Yeah.
That's right.
I got my tickets for Thursday by myself, and then Friday with my family.
And I got a ticket for Thursday, 6 p.m.
Me too. 6 p.m. Thursday. Fatal J?
Oh, I'm there. I always see it on the first night, the Thursday night.
Yeah.
That's the hardcore fans go on Thursday night.
Yeah.
You know?
Usually my whole family goes Thursday night, but I was slow on grabbing up the tickets.
My wife hates Star Wars, so it's just gonna be me and my little boy. You know?
Yeah, I'm going by myself.
Good. I'm going by myself too.
On Thursday.
Peace. We're out.
Peace. Thank you for coming.
Next time.